Hello everyone and happy Transfer Tuesday. It's actually quite early in the morning. It's before 9 a.m. I even have my morning green tea, and so if you see some sun speckles, the sun is right here, right now. So yeah. For today, all I have to share with you are some student loan savings and actually a debt payment. So I do want to talk about that a little bit because I actually made a fairly big decision, at least in my opinion. So last week, let me start with my student loan transfers. So I ended my student loan savings at $3,779.47. If you are new here, I am currently saving for my student loans to pay them down in September because they are currently in forbearance and at 0% interest. So then I will get to make a lump sum payment in September or October once that forbearance ends. And we will just see what happens with student loans in general. So yeah, I ended at that balance. And over the last week, I did make a couple of transfers, not many, and then we are going to make one today. So this month, I really won't be able to put much to my student loan savings, and I made a mistake recently with paying my taxes too that makes this even more difficult, I think. I don't know, we'll see. I'll update at the end of the month, but basically I made a mistake. I made an extra tax payment, unfortunately. But anyways, in regards to my transfers, I did do a transfer on Thursday, June 10th of $13.51 to my M1 spend account. That's where I have my student loan savings. There, it's earning 1% APY. And this came from Stephanie through Buy Me a Coffee. So Buy Me a Coffee is a support platform. I always have it linked down below. I have it set as Buy Me a Debt Payment. If you ever send me money through that, I will 100% put it to my student loan savings or to my debt, just depending on obviously where I'm at. But as of lately, any money I get from there goes there. So she sent me 3 debt payments for a total of 15, which is super sweet. Thank you so much, Stephanie. And after the fees through PayPal and through Buy Me a Coffee itself, it comes down to $13.51. And that, of course, always goes to my student loan debt. Then on Saturday, June 12th, I made a transfer of $4.23. This also came from Buy Me a Coffee, and this came from Giovanni from Italy. Very cool. I love that people are all over the world too that watch me. It's really awesome. And they bought me 1 debt payment. And again, after the fees through both of those platforms, it comes down a little bit. So it was $4.23. And last night, I believe, yeah, last night, Rosie has given me money before through Buy Me a Coffee. She sent me 5 debt payments, and that is what I'm going to transfer today. So the previous 2 I already have transferred, but so the 5 debt payments, that comes to $25, but after the fees, it goes to $22.72, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, $22.72. So that's what I'm going to transfer right now, and that is all I'm going to transfer for Transfer Tuesday today. You guys know the drill. $22.72. We have to confirm it. That brings my total student loan savings to $3,819.93. I do like to subtract that from my actual student loan balance, and right now that's at $36,000 even. So if I actually applied this to my student loans, it would bring my student loan balance down to $32,180.07. So we did get under the $32,200 mark, which is good, and I'm excited to get to 4,000. This month, my goal was initially to do 1,400, but now it's kind of like I know I can do probably 400, and that will put me at $4,000 at least, a little bit over $4,000 saved, and that will be great because it will put me under $32,000 in total debt. A little bit of progress there, and honestly, it's like I said in my last video or every other video, I don't know, it just feels good to do something every single week, and Transfer Tuesday is absolutely a game changer. So if you've been watching these or if you've been thinking about doing Transfer Tuesdays, I highly recommend you start. Even if you can only do $5 a week, $1 a week, whatever it is, it feels good to do something every single week. It's nice. The next thing I wanted to share is related to actual debt, because this was something I was going back and forth on for a couple of weeks. Recently, as you all know, I've had health issues, and I've also had my dog's surgery. So my dog's surgery cost over $2,400. I do have somebody, I think, who may be sending me half of that, so I would probably just be responsible for about $1,200. I have not received that yet though, so I don't know. I am able to pay all of that, but I was trying to decide if okay, so let me start over. So basically what ended up happening is I charged how much money? My Discover credit card had a balance of $3,890.13 on it, and that was as of like 2 days ago. And so that was all charged in June because that was the surgery, and then also for my own health stuff, I ended up spending over $1,200 on something related to my health, and that's a lot of money, obviously. So I put that on my credit card mostly just so I could get the points, and also this card is at 0% interest for a whole another year, up through May 2022. So I was like, okay, we're just gonna charge this, and I'm gonna kind of leverage this debt and let it be at 0% interest, and I will just keep saving for my student loans, keep building up my emergency fund. I'm not gonna touch my emergency fund. But then my mind got to thinking, and I really don't want more debt. So I actually put in some numbers. On my little spreadsheet, I put in what my net worth would be if I did increase my debt by that amount, by over $3,000, almost $4,000. And if I kept my emergency savings, if I got my student loan savings up to $5,000, like I probably could if I didn't pay this. And then considering everything else, like all my other savings, my net worth would have been like -17, I believe. But then I put my net worth in if I paid this off, depleted a little bit of my emergency fund, was only able to save $4,000 total in my student loan savings, and then kind of figured out my sinking funds, all that stuff. And it made my net worth -14, which is higher than -17, obviously. So I did decide to completely pay off this card. So this was kind of part of Transfer Tuesday because I was gonna keep this debt, and I really struggled with that. I did not want to touch my emergency fund for a number of reasons, but what this means basically is that I will not be able to save as much for my student loans this month. I depleted some of my sinking funds, which I will update on at the end of the month, because some of them I pulled from that aren't related to health and are, I wasn't expecting to use them for this. So yeah, my emergency fund still has over $2,000 in it, I think over $2,500. I will be able to save up a total of at least $4,000 this month for my student loans. And the reason I decided to do this is, one, I don't want debt, and that really, really bothered me. I just don't want to go from $36,000 in debt to like $39,000 plus. That really just doesn't sit well with me, especially being on this platform and I'm like trying to get rid of my debt. There's also like an added pressure of people watching me, and I know that it's my decision, it's my life, but I want to be a good role model to people, and I know that I could leverage this debt and make more money in investing, or even just by saving for my student loans and emergency fund, because that's more money in my high yield savings accounts, because this would be at 0% interest. This also prevents my credit score from being hit. I don't need my credit score anytime soon, but at least I don't think so. But the last time that I accidentally had a large balance go through, it like went through the same day as my statement date, so it was submitted to the credit bureaus, and it dropped my score 24 points, and I have not been able to recover from that. And it's not a huge deal to me. Credit scores aren't that important, especially depending on the time of, when you're dealing with it. But I don't want that to happen again. I don't want it to be depleted even more, or not depleted, but to drop even more and then have even harder time to recover from that. So yeah, what this means that I won't be able to save as much for my student loans because now I also need to fill my emergency fund back up. I still want to get that to $6,000 by the end of the year. So I might prioritize that. So I may stop saving so much in general for my student loans and just get my emergency fund up to $6,000 first before even, I don't know, I have to decide. I'll have to see as the months go. But yeah, I did make a payment of $3,890.13 and completely paid off that card. Honestly, I feel pretty good about it because I'm just proud that I'm not in further debt. I don't want to go into further debt, and that is what I am standing by. Like, that is one of my main goals, is to be completely debt free. And I understand that right now I could be investing way more, even once I do have to start paying student loans actively and they do start accruing interest again, I know that I could still invest money and make more money than if I were to pay my student loans off. But it's just the fact of having debt. It's just there, you know, and if those of you who have debt or have had debt, then you understand that it's kind of just this heavy thing in your life. Even if the payment is low, it's just knowing that I have $36,000. I don't want to add on to that. I've made all this progress. I would have to, like, I have a thermometer here that's colored in up to where I've currently paid off and where I've currently saved to, and then I would have to go backwards. Like, what do I do? Wipe that out? I don't want to do that. So this is like a really long explanation for something very simple, but I did want to explain my journey with that and my thought process with everything. So I did decide to use some of my emergency fund and my sinking funds, and to take away from what I'll be able to put toward my student loans this month in order to pay everything off. And then I will be able to recover everything over the next few months, definitely by the end of the year. And we'll just see what happens in regards to my debt. So that is everything for my Transfer Tuesday. As always, please comment down below what you are doing for today, whether that's saving, investing, or paying off debt, any positive financial move for you. Thank you all so much for watching. I greatly appreciate your support, and I'll see you in my next video.